In this video, I will show you how to build strategies for multiple time frames. I will demonstrate this using our template, which is available directly in StrategyQuant. However, before we continue, please note that all information is provided for educational purposes only and for working with StrategyQuant. We will edit our template, which we use to generate strategies. Specifically, it is the highest breakout template, which we will modify to use a filter for multiple time frames. Then, I will use this template in our custom project for gold. So, let's take a look at it right away. We are in StrategyQuant. I click on the Algo Wizard section, then click on Load Highest, Use Existing, and selecting Continue. This loads our template. We have an entry condition for highest, and at the same time, opposite block is used, so we are trying to build symmetrical strategies. However, when I click on this condition, I see that main chart is currently used. Now I want to add another main time frame and filter the trend according to the daily time frame. So I click on Add Subchart, selecting Daily, and then Subchart, meaning that this condition will no longer be used on the main time frame we have selected, but will be applied to the subchart. In this case, I set negated condition. The same condition we have here will be used, only it will be symmetrically reversed. We have highest and opposite value of highest set here, so the results will be lowest. I now save this template and we have it ready for generating strategies. And I rename it, for example, Symmetric D1. So now I have the template ready and I can move on to the custom project. I click and open the predefined custom project. And if you are just starting with StrategyQuant, I definitely do recommend starting with predefined custom projects in general and gradually modifying and improving them to meet your own criteria. So, we will build strategies on an hourly time frame and load the template we created. I go to Build Settings and select the template we just modified. Click on Browse, select the template, and I can also add adhere generation here. At this very point, we have set it to use the default values, which are defined directly in the builder. I go back to the custom project and add adhere for profit target. Then I click Save. And now I just quickly check that all the values are correct. In the ranking options section, I can add one more condition, namely number of trades in out of sample. And for this condition, I set a minimum of 30 trades. It is always good to look mainly at out of sample and set the values there that are realistic. If you set the values too strictly, the strategies will not be transferred to the data bank and will simply be missing there. I will set at least a minimum statistical value of 30 here, and we can start generating. So I run it, and in a moment I will show you what strategies are being searched for. And here we have the first strategies in the data bank. Let's take a look at them right now. I simply click on the strategy and see positive equity curves here. When I sort them by expectancy, for example, and switch to the source code, I can see that the conditions are actually being used on the subchart. At the same time, however, I notice that it adds two conditions which I do not want at all. So I delete these strategies and go back to building settings. Here I can choose that I want different conditions for subcharts. I set it here to use a maximum of one condition, and I can set it this way, or I I can specify it directly for a specific subchart. Then I click on save and start the build again. We wait a moment and then I will look at what conditions StrategyQuant generates. In this case, my main concern is that the strategies are not unnecessarily complicated. When we add higher timeframes, the number of trades can be significantly reduced, and at the same time, it is necessary to monitor how many parameters the strategy uses. The goal is to build the simplest possible strategy so that the risk of overfitting is as low as possible. We have the first strategy in the data bank, so let's see what StrategyQuant has found. I can see that a combination of ATR and fixed pip is used here. At the same time, it is clear that all strategies now have only one condition as an input filter. And I have one more small recommendation. Since the daily time frame is a really high time frame, it is necessary to approach these periods a bit differently. Here, I can reduce these periods to lower values because then we will be working with really long trends. For example, a period of 7 to 50 means that the calculation ranges from approximately 70 days to 500 days moving average. This is a tip for you. I believe it is a very useful recommendation. Try building your own strategies with the daily filter and see how it can impact your results. It is definitely a good idea to distinguish between market modes and filter trades entries using trend filters from higher time frames so that the strategy only enters into long-term trends. And this actually brings us to the end of this video. You can find the template used directly as a part of StrategyQuant, so there is no need to download it anywhere. At the same time, this template is also available on our website. And if you have any questions, please write them in the comments or send them to us by email. Don't forget to like and follow, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.